Damn.
And you got Aaron licking toads and psychedelics laying out on beaches like.
What is the NFL coming to?
What are we doing?
Oh, it's all going to come down. It was very talked about it. I mean, the script's written for it to be a big blockbuster. I mean, it's already there. I mean, everything's just waiting for it.
I don't even want to say who that.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits.
Yo, Compodres, welcome back to another episode and want to say happy Halloween. Thank you for being here. I am your host with the most from the West Coast, SB Press.
Yes,
As
sir.
always, I got Lance the man in the house.
You're
Riz out in the his eye.
Happy Halloween. They couldn't get stylish with the wig like I can. So this is what we rolling today as. And yeah, I had to shave too. You know, I had some things going on this week. You know what I mean?
Definitely got some tricks and
Yes.
treats for y'all today. CB in the house to be. Imrod in the background with the master plan. Reporting live from Mastermind Media. And want to say thank y'all as always tuning in. Hit that like, subscribe, and smash all the buttons on all the platforms, not just YouTube. Want to give y'all a little synopsis on today's episode. We'll be going over costume differences between male and females.
Yeah.
Also, top 5 scary movies of all time.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Okay, as well as a projector that's the size of a Guinness can.
Oh wow.
Okay, also NFL recap. And Joe's favorite part of the week.
It's Weirdo of the Week.
You're weird.
Okay, so since Joe definitely thinks this is my guy,
It is.
the weirdo of the week is Kanye West.
And we're all going to talk about him today. It's going to be one weirdo.
Hold on. Let me address something first. That mask is hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Wig's funny. The set, I hope you guys appreciate.
Yeah, we try to do a little something for you all.
Exactly.
This day,
so let's dive into
yeah,
that goofy though.
Preston likes talking about Kanye, so we're gonna talk about Kanye today. So
good,
that's
the
what
bad, the happy,
we're
the
just
sad.
doing one weirdo across the board. It's gonna be Kanye.
Yes,
So,
sir. Who wants to take the swing at him first?
You should.
Yeah.
Okay.
You love that. You got that whole
Well,
little thing.
Yeah.
Well, outside of his interview that he did with Nori, he's also getting dropped by all the brands that, was making him this rich, braggadocious individual that he's been, putting himself out there as.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is mental health again or if this is just buffoonery coming from him, but somebody needs to really step in his life and help him.
No, I mean,
because he's losing everything.
I agree with you 100%. I think we've all talked about this before. I mean, why isn't he getting help? I mean, what is really going on? I mean, because it's getting to the point now. He screwed his businesses. I mean, he didn't take care of his business. I mean, when I saw everything was going on, CAA is one of the biggest agencies in the world.
I mean, huge.
And when they drop you, and look what Adidas,
Look at JP Morgan.
with Skechers, Gap.
Balenciaga.
Yeah, I mean, he had
Donda Academy right now is in a flux. They're losing players. They're losing.
Yes.
They're losing more than just money. They're losing their brand.
Right.
You were saying AB is still gonna ride the ship with them, right?
Right. I like the point that Joe was bringing up though. Is what was really good is that he's already admitted to mental health issues. Bipolarism, and he has that. He's already been treated for it. So really, what is the problem? Like, why isn't he being helped? Like, that's the deepest issue before we can get into all the other stuff that he's been, contributed to him and the bad things that are happening right now in the headlines. It's like, who's going to stick by his side? It's tough right now, man. It's so hard with all the stuff coming out. So I think we should touch on that and then slide into some of the things that he's been doing right now. So, I mean,
he's escaping from insecurity apparently, and just randomly eating in restaurants by himself.
And he obviously doesn't know how to use the choice of words the right way. I mean, his construction of everything that he's talked about is just unbelievable.
Yeah. Is this a sign of money privilege?
That's a good point.
I mean, what about the 405 this weekend? Would you guys?
I mean, because it's just disgusting to even see that. Yeah. I mean, to be in 2022 and still see this it breaks my heart as a human being, because we shouldn't go through any of this.
Absolutely, man.
Right. Yeah. People are getting affected. There's being bags of just information and then pamphlets thrown on people's lawns.
Yeah, with sand in it, so it can. Yeah, I've seen that in Beverly Hills, Melrose, hate speech and a bunch of stuff. And unfortunately, Kanye's being, he's the one being attached to this. I mean, I've heard, a lot of KKK and that type of ordeal is starting to back some of the stuff. So, man, it's just so heart-wrenching and we all looked up to Kanye for so long, you know, especially as an African-American male. And
For sure.
it's just terrible that, you know, I want to, you know, have his back, but it's the stuff he's saying and the racist things are just, because it's racist at this point, you know. I can't, you know, back that at all. So
no, I can't attach myself to him as loving the music when he's not even representing the music that he gave us initially that made us fall in love. You know,
I've never been like a huge fan of his. You know, I mean, it's
no college dropout for you.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just me, but at the same time, he's also been an icon for so many people. And,
Absolutely.
And if you're going to be at that level, you have to take that job and run with it too. I mean, you have to be there for fucking. You have to be there for people.
Right.
You have to be a role model, and it's unfortunate what's going on. It happens to so many people that become stars and just go down this crazy path. And you know, I mean, hopefully he'll be forgiven in a couple years, or maybe he'll get some help or something. I mean, I always want to see when we talk about something like this, I want to see a negative become a positive. I want to see something good come out of this. Maybe he will change his ways.
Right.
I mean, you know, I'm not going to go through the list of celebrities over the years that done shit, but they've got out of it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But this one is pretty pumped. But at the same time, we're in a different time in America now.
And he's attacked a very powerful group in this country, in this world.
Seriously.
So.
And like Mark said, man, he had a really good point. Mark had a really good point. Guy drops an album and everybody, you know, be like, oh, what's he going to say on this album?
Right.
That's why, you know, he's the mastermind when he brings this stuff up like that, you know, and it's the truth. I mean, maybe if Kanye had my wig on, he'd be in a better mood. I don't know.
Oh, man. But he's jacking people up, though, so he got this wig on.
What do you guys think about, you know, what he did actually say? I agreed with some of it. Like, if you guys listen to the interview with Candace Owens and some of the other interviews he's had, some of the stuff he says makes a lot of sense, and people took it out of context, and the cancel culture is real.
Now, I sat and watched the 3-hour Drink Champs interview and everything
that was a good one.
And it's if he sat down with the right person to get his thoughts and ideas sequenced in the right way, he makes sense. The problem is he's all over the place and very rambunctious. And then it's also the other things that's going on with his mental health that makes you think, is he really thinking when he's speaking? Or he's just speaking just to hear his own voice?
I think when you're at a certain level as a celebrity as he is, they have a team.
Yeah.
Okay, they have a publicist. They have people that could get this out the right way.
Absolutely.
It's about over-articulating what you want to talk about, and it's also how people are going to comprehend what you're saying.
Right.
And that's what happens.
And Kanye's won so much in his life.
Yeah, he has, but he's also. But
who's going to tell him anything?
But let's just talk. Let's just say this: for the last 5 years or whatever, he's just gone all over the place. Right. I mean, and again, it's how the media portrays everything. I don't care about how much fast food the man is eating a day. Yeah. I mean, I really don't. No. But that made news, and it just goes. It's like dominoes.
His outfit, everything.
You know,
but the situation on the 405.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing is very unfortunate. Really what's going on, and it's really sad to me. And as Americans, I wish we can move forward, not have any of this, but unfortunately, this is how it's going to be, and it's always going to be like this, and it's always has been like this, unfortunately.
Yeah. Is it a tactic for his political career? I mean,
if that is, I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, I don't even know.
Last month, he was talking about wanting to be dropped by Adidas, and look where it came.
He wears a 2024 hat.
Well, hey, if he is, you know, I think this is I don't know.
If you watch the 3-hour interview with Nori, he kind of briefly goes, you know, subliminally goes over it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it, but I mean,
he doesn't want to give up his stance too much.
There's no way he's. I mean, I know you want to go there. I'm not even going to say it. I mean,
agreed.
So
yeah, definitely, man.
That's how I feel.
But Kanye, man, dang, man, you know. It's just, you know, figure this out for us, please, man. We were an icon to all of us. We followed you for a long time, so.
You went from the B's to the M's, brother.
Figure this out, brother.
And get back to the brothers, man.
Prayers to you, man.
I think that's what's the problem. Not enough strong brothers.
I think
in
the
life.
problem is you wearing that mask.
It's a distraction for you?
No, I don't know.
He's on his jack boy.
I'm trying to jack this thing up, man.
I don't know what you gonna jack at all. I mean, it's a cool little costume. I mean, speaking of costumes, Lance, I mean, what you think about, you know, how women do costumes on Halloween?
So I think it's funny, man, that all this thing. So male costumes versus female costumes. Oh my.
Yeah,
gosh.
but let's split. I might want jump the gun on a little bit right now. Let's get into costumes and like when you were a kid till now, because I don't celebrate Halloween anymore, and I really don't. I do shit like this, or I've worn a sweatsuit, clean shaven, Hey, who are you? I'm Tony Soprano on vacation. You know what I mean? It's like if I was out and about on that, but I'm not a big Halloween guy anymore. When I was a kid, you know, and I loved it. It was fun. But now, I mean, it's just crazy. Like we were talking outside, how people just get so excited and spend thousands of dollars on costumes.
Absolutely, man.
You know?
Okay, so for the audience, let me pose the question so everybody's well aware of what we're talking about. Question is, how do you guys feel about the differences between men costumes and women costumes? How rambunctious and outlandish it is, and just how crazy the world goes over one day. Even though some of them now are dressing like that every day.
County, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. The way it's looking right now is Halloween every day. No one's using that just one day as an excuse to dress the way they want.
I don't know
it's
about
everyday
that, bro. I've seen some pretty outlandish shit.
Well, what was the thing years ago? People were dressing more scampy, and you know,
That's how it goes every time. I mean, to be honest with you, if you guys really break it down, I mean, a lot of women will tell you. Women I've dated, been friends with, they'll tell you Halloween's a good time to wear an outfit that's provocative that they wouldn't wear the rest of the time of the year because it is a holiday and they're dressing up and they can wear something. So if you want to call it scampy or whatever you want to say, yeah, that's provocative, definitely. But definitely male costumes don't hold the candle, right?
Oh, no. I've been seeing a lot of sockets and plugs.
Mask.
Oh, you're already mad. I keep looking over and like, man, the activator's just gonna start dripping and stuff over here on the right. It's gonna start dripping.
Shake that curl for him, Joe.
Just give him a little.
There it is.
Give him a little pinky.
There it is. He said pinky.
Let me ask you guys this. Reminiscing back to younger days when you would put costumes on and stuff, going trick-or-treating. Right? Crazy stuff is it. Did you guys ever like camp out the best neighborhoods?
Well, I think you would know.
I'm the candy man, so I was making sure a week in advance who's gonna have what, where I'm hitting for the king size stuff, and then the house is hitting the last
that's
part.
So true, right?
It was always about the king size bar.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, we had our routes, and then, I was one of those guys that did the bag snatching or the pumpkin smash. But since you brought up the trick or treating, it brings up a good point. I mean, I'm sure everybody in this room, when we went trick or treating as kids, our parents checked the candy afterwards.
Yes,
and I still remember. I believe I was in second grade, and the principal came into class, and he said there was a bunch of candy bars found on the street. And they had razor blades in them.
Yeah.
And they asked if anybody ate it, and the kid raised his hand. My mom did.
Oh, man.
And that brings my point to now, with all the other shit going on and how bad people are, they can inject whatever they want into it. I mean, how safe is it now for people to go trick-or-treating? Because I know where I live, no one's trick-or-treating.
No.
So they take them, but see, those streets behind them, I'm sure they're giving out full Snickers and the whole thing, but I just think it's just I mean, I don't even know how popular trick-or-treating is now.
Well, after the lockdown, I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, it's people don't trust, hand-to-hand stuff anymore, so it's become a very difficult thing. But yeah, man, I remember for sure we would run through every piece of candy. My mom and dad, they would check, make sure it was, okay to eat and whatnot, but you're right, man. I mean, there are some diabolical people out there that take advantage. Yeah,
and they take it.
And to add to what you're saying, too, because last year I orchestrated like a little Halloween get-together for kids and stuff.
Right.
In our neighborhood towards the flats, that's where everybody's houses are decorated and stuff. The trick-or-treating does go on down there, but you just got to get down there before the sun even goes
Yeah, see, I think that, too. A lot of people start earlier than they used to.
Yeah, you got
safety.
Before dark, But when it gets dusk, they go home. Chandler... to where I live, Chandler, that street over to all the way down to
Woodman.
That's huge area.
My old boss that I worked with, he's got that corner house, dude. And I went over there one year and did the handout trick or treating before I worked for him.
Yeah,
bro, those kids are coming from everywhere. And I was with a friend of mine that big homie. And this one dude came up. He's like, damn, homie, what you like, 21? You up here trying to get candy? Okay. And we were both talking shit. And like, dude, really? Like, I mean, I couldn't go trick-or-treating probably around 10. It stopped.
Oh, damn.
Because they all say you're too big or this and that. You know what I mean?
I went till I was about 13.
I couldn't do that.
Okay. Because for me, I had the gift and the curse of being short.
Oh, yeah.
So you still go, don't you?
Treating up to 16.
No, you still go.
I know you
can.
do.
He still goes.
I mean, I'm the candy man, so
think you do
respectfully,
too, CB.
I'm not going so the kids can really get their stuff.
CB does too. I guarantee both these guys go.
They get together and go.
I know Imrod don't.
I mean, I'm taking all the free candy handouts anyway, so it's all good with me.
If you guys see this
I'm not
guy in
stealing
this
no
Jack
bag.
Boy mask,
Yeah.
don't
Give him no candy
Don't
at
give
all.
him no
Nothing.
candy.
I'll either put this one on or ask for the curl. Get the activator going. Get the activator
Hey,
going.
hold up. Go ahead, CB. What you got to say?
I just gotta say I'm an adult and I can buy my own candy.
Oh, there you go. All right,
I feel it. But free is always better with me.
No, that's funny though, Joe. You see kids like 15, 16 years old out there like, oh, happy Halloween.
Grown man.
Can I get some candy?
So then let me pose this question.
Trick or treat.
Let me pose this question. What do you guys think is the age cutoff for trick-or-treating?
I'd say 12, 13.
Yeah, 12, 13.
I'm cool with that.
13.
What do they do at buffets? Like it's like
Yeah,
12
yeah,
or 13. They
But
kid
see,
age.
then we talk about that age difference. But the flip side of the coin of that is then you got the parent that comes up and the baby's one.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And this does this. Doesn't say no trick or treat. You know, that's the other thing. When I did this years ago at that house, like these dudes won't even say trick or treat. They're just like, what you want then, bro? I mean, what do you want?
Nobody
Say
says
something.
trick or treat
Talk.
anymore.
If you don't want
Nobody.
trick or treat,
Do something.
You ain't getting nothing. That's when you come out with the silly string just to spray them up with.
Talk, color. Talk like you got a pair. You sitting there like,
But then,
what do you do? What do you say? Trick or treat?
what do you do when you're like me and stuff? And this is when I come out of the mask or whatever. But what do you do when you're like me when you don't look the age that you actually are?
man,
That's a whole personal problem. It's in your head. Right now, you can't tell what age you are because
I'm going to relieve myself to the audience pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll leave you alone on that. Let's.
There he goes.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little bit too hot in there. There you go. There you go.
Fresh cut.
You feel better now? Can you breathe?
Welcome. I feel back to being alive because this
There
had
you
me a
go.
little dead for a little bit.
There you go.
But
funny, man.
Jack Boy will come out a little later on when the sun
Okay.
go down. Sun go
I
down.
hear
Sun's
that.
down already, but hey.
Yeah, well, for me, I will say this: trick or treating went a little bit longer than it could or should have went. I didn't get a growth spurt until after high school, so for me, I was still reaping the benefits of getting free candy all the way up to like 16.
There you go.
Yeah,
You heard it
I
there
think
first.
we got that point from you. I think we did.
But keeping things on the Halloween tip or whatever.
Got you.
My next question will be about the top 5 scary movies. What do you guys feel? What do you guys think? Or let's start with what do you guys know?
Top 5 scary movies, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Top 5 scary movies of all time.
Are we doing it in any particular order? We just
Doesn't
don't
have
throw
to
them
have a order at all. Just we'll have some honorary mentions as well.
out? Perfect. That sounds good.
But let me hear this.
I
from
mean,
Joe.
first and foremost,
What you
I'm not
got?
a big horror
Give
movie
me-
guy.
Give me.
Okay, did you hear what I'm saying? Let me go. Let me do my thing. I got this. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Guy who says
Sitting there
listen,
and
don't
acting
listen
like,
at all.
I'm not a big horror movie guy. I don't get scared when I watch those movies. I've enjoyed some of them, but some of them are too much. It's just too fake to me when I watch it. But I mean, for me, I would have to put, like I told you, The Shining to me is my favorite.
Okay.
That movie came out and it was so intense, and the cinematography for the first time was amazing. The whole story, it broke barriers. You know,
Shining was amazing.
I like Jaws. That's an original OG movie. I did like the screams a little bit on the down low. They were kind of funny. Freddy Krueger came out when I was in high school, and it was a big thing. Everybody had the claw. And by the way, think about how much they made on branding then.
Yeah.
With all the merchandise they sold for that.
Right.
You know? And then Child's Play has always been fun too. Child's Play was cool.
I'm a Chucky guy myself, Me growing up, being short and everything, Chucky was the one thing that they would easily scare me with, other than a Thriller, video.
Right.
That's a hidden gem right there. The Thriller video. I had to mention
Michael
that.
Jackson.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah,
But I also want to add to, because you were hitting me with some, I would say relatively kind of old school films. I got the 1987 Lost Boys. That
is
film was
old
actually
school,
shot here in Northern California. So for me,
You mean Southern California?
no, it was shot in Northern
Yeah, but
California.
you said like Northern California, like we live in Southern California, bro.
Yeah, we live in It was
in
shot in Northern California, even though we're reporting live from Sunnyside, LA, California.
There it is. I've been waiting for it all day.
I wanted to give it to him because he was waiting for it.
There it is.
He was waiting for it, so I wanted to give it to him. On purpose.
No, that was a great film. I mean, that was a cool film. That was fun. You know, I mean, it's just what you like and what you don't like. You know,
That's
Right.
hilarious, dude.
Everybody has their own preference. Some people are into slasher films. Some people are into The Conjuring.
Right.
Conjuring film
Dope.
was based off of real events. The Warners really did some investigations that they made into films that created a franchise like Annabelle.
right? But I will tell you this much, and I know Emrod knows this. I've talked to him before, and I talked to other people before. Most people go to the theater to watch horror movies.
Yeah, they do.
It has the biggest audience. People love it. Like I
Big
said,
action and horror.
yeah. I mean, they really do. So
Yeah. I mean, Joe said them all. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street definitely was personal for me because my brother that's listening right now, he can attest to this.
Shout out.
Not throwing no shots, but he used to
scare the shit out of you, didn't he?
used to scare the shit out of us.
I love it.
He put us in the basement and locked the door and be like, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And we'd be scared shitless, dude. So like, and Shaka Khan all the Shaka Khan's coming. So, Nightmare on Elm Street was definitely a big one for me, definitely. But
But don't you think they made too many of them?
they ran the franchise down, but Freddy was huge.
Yeah.
Man.
Any house with a red door gives me that feeling.
I mean, they did Freddy versus Jason, 13, 14? They ran that franchise all the way to there.
Yeah.
So, but Conjuring, dope. Jaws, man. I mean, that's underrated. And Shining, what Joe was saying, I mean, the performance Jack, I mean.
Here's Johnny.
Here he is. I mean, so many people do that. It's so funny. Hey, do that one more time.
Here's Johnny.
Shit was twitching. I also
just
gotta
calling.
mention this guy right here. It was a big one. The original It. The original It with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Even though the Bill Skarsgård was repraising Rove that he did and everything, I still feel like the Tim Curry, the original, leaves the mark on all horror films a lot.
Hey, can you do the Pennywise voice, Joe?
No, I can't do that one.
It's kind of you kind of did it right there.
Which one?
The Pennywise, what he
can't
does
do
in the sewers.
He had a little.
I can't do it.
No.
I don't think I can. Either.
I can't do
It's
it.
funny though. It's kind of deep though, but yeah, it's creepy.
Like this, deep like this over here.
No, it's more like, hey kids.
Hey kids, how you doing? No, I can't do it. I tried.
It's hitting in
guys put me
there.
on
It's
the
hitting
spot
in
too
there.
much.
It's hitting.
That's funny though. It was dope though. I like the re-release was cool, but you're right. The original always. I think the original for everything is always the better.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other subject matter. We'll do it one day. We'll go over remakes.
Yeah.
I think films that were like based on true events were the ones that hit me and
Yeah.
stuff. Like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
that was a movie that my mom saw when it originally
That's
came
top
out,
fi- that's
and
top
still
five for sure.
hits today.
Definitely.
like still hits. And then again, the backstory was the girl that was actually in the film actually fell into a situation where they had to bring in a priest and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, there's so much shit that goes
Creepy.
on. You know, and I remember those. I mean, I want to see. That's another thing I want to bring up later after when we get through this about something about schools, how Halloween is now, because I still remember. I mean, I wonder what goes on in the classrooms now, because you sent me a clip and it talked about kids getting scared and the teacher got.
Nobody's
kicked out.
reading now. Everybody's trying to incorporate these
So
things.
I mean, I remember the scary stories I would read,
Or
you know?
Goosebumps.
Yeah, I remember all that, and now I don't even think they're in those schools anymore.
Do you guys even remember like other films like Scream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Scream franchise was crazy, man.
Yeah, it was.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, that was another good
That
one
was a
too.
good
Yeah,
one.
that was a good one.
And can we give CB and Mark our honorary mentions?
Yes.
Of this? What are your guys' favorite? If you put a top 5 list, 1 and 1 for each of you, what would you say your top 5 scariest movies? This is the 1 and 1. So top 1 and 1.
So you guys have already said a bunch of them.
We did.
Yeah.
We just want to know your guys'
Cover basis.
I love a lot of those, but 2 that really stuck with me. So when I was writing a horror film, I never was really into horror either.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I had a horror idea, so I had to watch everything. And I have 2 that I really love. The first one is Strangers.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen
Yeah.
Strangers,
Yeah.
which is based on a true story. Brian Bertino's the writer
Right.
and director of
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. And the other one is what's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's another one.
2003
That
with
was the
Jessica
one.
Biel. That
Jessica
one
Biel?
is a
Yeah.
The Jessica
masterpiece.
Biel one, yeah.
A good one.
Like it's like how it's shot,
Right.
cinematography is brilliant too. So that when I think of like a really well made film, that's the one I would go.
Horror film.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you which year for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because a lot of people will say Texas Chainsaw Massacre Begins was theirs, and it's like nah. The Jessica Biel one just was more gruesome. It was more and actually with that one, if you go back and see it, they incorporated a lot of real parts from the original action of it.
Right. What about you, CB?
I'd have to say you guys have listed a lot of them already. I love The Shining.
Right.
The Shining's always the top one. I always like the classic Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
It's always a classic. And Halloween. You can't
Yeah,
go wrong with the
Halloween's
Halloween
good.
movies.
Yeah.
Did you do the Rob Zombie Halloween as well?
Yeah, I dug that.
Okay.
I'm just
a big
really
horror
glad
guy.
no one said Blair Witch at all through this whole thing.
Or
I will say this though, Blair Witch was pretty crazy. Like the propaganda in the beginning, of, like before, or after what happened.
But I think everything about Blair Witch, they made a killing. And what was the budget on that film? You fact check. It's
insane.
gotta,
But you got to remember, everybody was talking about the ending of that movie for a long time.
One, do you guys know the budget of the first Paranormal Activity?
that's
No,
where I was
that
going
was-
next.
yeah.
You know the budget?
What was it?
knows this by
James
heart.
Blum did it from Blumhouse.
Gotcha.
It was 15,000. Wow. They
That's
redid
crazy.
the ending a little bit later, but initially one of the girls worked at Buka at Universal Studios.
Oh, wow.
Right. I know. Yeah.
Something, Katie Featherstein or something
Yeah.
like that.
Wow.
And I heard a story that she was still waiting tables at the Buca de Beppo because it was like a quick turnaround when they were going to release it.
Right.
And so people were watching her on screen and then getting waited. She had put her 2 weeks in, but they were coming to like. You have to fact check.
To get her as a server.
right after,
That's
crazy.
cool, man. That's a good fun fact, bro. I
yeah.
didn't know that. 15 bands.
In that movie.
To answer your question, Joe, $60,000.
That's nothing, bro. That's nothing.
And the movie had so much prestige and mystique to it. Like you thought it was real. Paranormal for sure. The first one, you couldn't tell me it wasn't real.
Yeah, Paranormal was definitely one of those, but Blair Witch too, man. I mean, I remember I went to the movie theater and seen it. You know,
Really?
Oh yeah, I did because it was so much hoopla. You guys remember at that
I
time?
seen the posters of it
There
all
was
around.
so
and
much
stuff. I was
hoopla
pretty
around
young.
it. Yeah, all my boys, we all got together and we went down to the movie theater, watched
Well,
it.
you know, since we're on this, and he just brought a Buka, and when we worked in Encino, you guys remember everybody said that place was haunted.
Yeah, they did.
And I mean, I saw some shit in there one time. Like
What was the story on the place?
it was a couple big restaurants before it was Buka, and when we're going back to like the 50s and 60s, that building's old.
It was like a rib house, right? Rib shack.
It was Adam's Ribs, and then it was another Italian restaurant before that, I think.
Yeah.
And I supposedly heard someone died in there or got murdered or something like that.
Well,
but the thing is, when you put all the chairs up against the bar, you go out there and do something the next day, you come in, they'll be back 3 feet.
Yeah. I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah, because the cleaning lady came.
They say, but you know, I mean, they say in the back by the Pope table. I mean, you hear stuff, you see when that place is dark, it's weird, dude.
There was a famous
the Phil Hartman.
Yeah, the Phil, but that's different because
Well, that was
She
in the
was
parking
down the
lot,
street,
right?
but that was the last place she went.
That's
right?
the last
Before
place
she
she
did.
went. That's the last place she went.
Yeah.
So her
That's the last
ghost
place
haunts
she
the
That
place.
whole, that whole thing plays. I remember that. Yeah, man, that definitely plays in the factor.
So did you guys see like any shadows or aspirations?
I mean, I
and stuff
heard,
like
but
that?
there was also a lot of strange people I worked with. They probably thought I was strange too, but I also know a lot of them did a lot of psychedelics and other stuff, so they could have been
out of
seeing
this
all kinds
world.
of shit.
Well, that was just a shitty building. Period. Every construction.
Yeah, it
I
is
mean,
bad,
there's
yeah.
stories we could go on
I don't know,
for
for days about it.
Remember Ben sucking the water up, and after that's like wow.
Did
bro.
you witness any of the scary stuff behind the scenes when you were working there, Lance?
I mean, not too much scary stuff, but I was there pretty late all the time.
And
and you see something. You see it definitely. You when you're walking through that restaurant alone, or like, because I would open the place and then I'd be the only one. And yeah, man, I'd turn lights on and go turn the rest of the lights on and come back, and the lights, would be off in one of the sections. Sometimes I think it's an old building. You contribute it to that. So, but
No, it's just a very strange place.
it is.
Other than the chairs moving, did you witness anything else?
Not really. I mean, a little bit. I mean, you'd hear stuff, or like the lights would come back on, or something like that, or you'd hear little things here and there. I spent a lot of time in that building.
creaky
so-
old building.
Yeah,
definitely
it's just old.
Yeah.
With this old sewage problem too.
Old sewage problem, and just poorly constructed.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely,
exactly.
man. Absolutely. You have to go on the roof to bang the AC to get it going again. I mean, we could go all day about this place, man.
Not only is it haunted, it's just
It is what it
not
is.
up
It's
to
old.
par.
Old.
Neither.
It's old, man. Old and CeeLo.
And I think we might have gave it too much attention. Now we can move on. I mean, if we want to sit here and have a roast one day and bring a couple old school people that worked all together and do that, we can get 5 or 6 people and we can roast it all day. Mark.
I think it's funny, man. I think Mark has something.
Yeah, we can wear our pocket protectors.
With all the pins, with the
They
time.
would spend more money on pins than anything.
Everything. I mean, come on, think about that, man. Every day we had to fill out those.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we'll get into it. We'll get off subject a little bit.
We're gonna get off of that.
Well, banter is what we do.
Yeah, that's true.
We're Compodres.
The Buka thing right now has me really intrigued because I'm into horror stuff, horror films. So the fact that you guys say things get moved around, lights get flickered on and off, that's kind of
I don't have to worry about it anymore because I'll never go in there again.
yeah.
So I mean, but
been
yeah,
gone.
I there's been some crazy shit that went on there.
Oh yeah,
Mark
Scary.
knows about it too.
I want to talk about. Hold up. Let's talk about Browns Bengals on Halloween.
because that's where I was.
What we
shifting
doing there?
things in.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man.
What are you guys' thoughts on the Browns versus the Bengals this year? If
Gotcha.
the costume jerseys or whatever going to be some stylish thing or whatever.
They are.
Well, I mean, I like Myles Garrett is a huge Halloween guy.
He is.
Huge.
I think we're gonna see some dope cleats out there this year.
Yeah, I
Some
guess
really
that's
cool
important to some
graphics
people.
and
I
stuff
really
like
don't give a
that.
shit. I just
Well,
want to see him play
you know, I
football.
just-
Here we go. I just told you how I really feel about Halloween in a way. Let him play football, but yeah, see, people get intrigued by what you're saying because it's a Halloween game and who gives a shit? Let him play football.
CB, can you tell me like the past
gives a
five Halloween games that had gone
Wow, we're
on?
gonna fact check this.
We are gonna
Yes.
fact
Oh my
check it because
God.
I want to know some of it.
Yes.
I know I kind of know some of it, but I want to be right for our listeners, man. So
Right.
we're gonna ask CB. But I'm excited, man. It's not like so much the Browns and Bengals. I mean, even though the Bengals did to a number this week, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they really. Joe Burrow's really stepping.
He's
I mean,
come into his own.
I knew he would, man. I mean, you can't get all that praise and then. They stomped. I mean, he really looked good this week. I mean, the Colts didn't have a chance. So
I think I want to add on to what Joe mentioned earlier in our few episodes and stuff.
Right,
It's
right.
still early in the season. Some of these people got to get warmed up.
Right.
And Burrow's clear evidence of that. He kind of wet the bed the first couple of games, and now he's coming into his groove.
I
O-line.
think. I mean,
The O-line stepping up
it's
for him.
always because really week 8 now is week 9.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
And I think these teams have gone a different route. There's so many games they're figuring stuff out. I mean, Josh McDaniels is driving me nuts because he's switching guards now. I mean, one will play right guard one game, the other one will play left guard. They swap them, they do this. They're trying to still figure things out, and that's
Right.
why I say it is a long season. But I mean, it takes these guys. I mean, but the bigger thing to me is when you look at the teams like the Jets and the Giants. And where they're at right now, and what they're going to do. And both of them are balling right now. They both look good. They're making trades. I mean, the Giants.
Is this going to work? Those are they going to
I mean,
sustain
what's going to happen? I mean, in the next couple
They're gonna
weeks,
stay
you're going to tell
healthy.
it. Yeah,
I was just about to say that. Hopefully, they can just keep their stable healthy right now.
Because it's unbelievable. I mean, the Jets and the Giants. When's the last time New York's had the Jets and
This
Giants
much
balling like
traction?
that? I mean, it's unbelievable, man, and it's dope, man. I love to see that. But history tells us what happens.
Even the Knicks ain't stinking right now,
Like,
even though
yeah.
basketball season just started. But New York right now is pretty hot.
Yeah.
And the Jets, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Now,
well, yeah, but look at that division right now.
Division's tough.
And this goes back to what I've said before about the media. Even in sports, the media sat there and blew up the Raiders. They blew up the Broncos.
They do every year.
They're blowing up the Bills that came there. They were blowing up the Rams a little bit.
All day.
And then they were blowing up Tampa. Now look at the AFC East right now. What a competitive division.
that's a powerhouse right now.
I mean, you got Miami, who's on the cusp.
Okay,
That's a
I see
powerhouse
what
right
y'all
now.
doing.
Yeah, you got it. And it's coming. I have to
I'm
bring
glad
it
he
up.
caught it. I'm glad.
And then you got Buffalo.
Something before
but then the Jets. And then where's New England? How did New England do last week?
Wait for it.
Hold on.
Wait for it.
Oh, he's getting. Oh, okay.
There it is.
He's flexing over
Okay.
here.
All right. So, all right. I'm gonna address like this, guys.
I want you to time this, CB.
I'm going to dress y'all like this. Pull y'all in.
address y'all like this. 235.
Here we go.
235. That's the first number I want to bring up, and then I got one more point I want to bring up. 235 is the number that they rushed on us for this year. I mean, this last game. That was the rushing yards, and Second point I want to bring up is I'm done with Belichick playing his little kid games out there. Mac Jones is our starting quarterback, brother. Bailey Zappi came in and did what he did, but those 2 interceptions at the end of the game, pulling Mac, it killed his confidence, bro. I don't understand why New England is trying to create a quarterback controversy like Jerry Jones and these folks. Like, it's like, dude, now you got everybody talking about, oh, who's going to start? Mac's our starting quarterback. You can't forget about what he did last year, right? Second point, defense. Man, I just, this year it's just like we used to bend it but not break, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Outside of the 235, secondary was just getting torched. And it's like, what are we doing? It's not a bad thing, and it was a loss. It was a blowout, and it was embarrassing on Monday Night Football by the Chicago Bears.
Bears played well, bro. The Bears played good defense.
Justin Fields looked like Lamar Jackson out there.
Oh. You credit that they got out coached?
I credit to Belichick being cute. That's what I contributed to. Okay. But you can't give up 235 yards rushing the ball.
Do you think it ruined the season with the whole?
I think we are so far behind in the AFC East, just like you guys were saying, the beast of the East that they're doing, and look at the NFC East. What the? Both of these. You got the cow, it's like, but at the same time, man, it's disappointing, but I'm still going to root for the squad, but it's terrible, man. It was embarrassing. Monday Night Football, our only Monday night game this year, and we get blown out by the Chicago Bears at home. I'm just getting to that at home.
I like this energy, even with the. You see, it didn't shift.
You guys gave me all that shit last week about.
Proud of you, man.
Proud of you. Spent some time and talked about it. It was they didn't do well, and it's early, and he actually had some statements.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think they got our what were you guys? Did we? Oh no, okay, we forgot about it. So let's slide into. They just didn't happen. Yeah. There was nothing there.
Listed, but there's like 9 notable games.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, because it doesn't happen every year.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just saying.
But also capping on the division, the Dolphins. Yeah. Tua back out on the field.
Tua shouldn't be on the field at all.
I completely agree.
At all.
He balled out though.
But he balled out.
I mean, how can you say he balled out when they won 16-10?
Well,
he stayed in the game. He stayed up. He didn't get pressured too much. It was a lot of dropbacks where nobody was putting him on the ground.
But I watched.
Balled out to me as his stats are out of control. I mean, you can't do much when he won 16-10. He shouldn't be in the game still.
He didn't look bad, Joe. He wasn't.
I watched it a little bit. I was working, but I mean,
good.
Well, I think the Dolphins got a lot of work, and I think there's a lot of going on in that organization as well.
What do you think about Matty Ice getting benched this week?
He's hurt.
Well, I mean, it's like
moving forward.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's out for the
rest of the year.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
They're just there. I mean, before that even happened, they were already looking.
They were questioning keeping him in the
starting position.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a bad idea when you have a quarterback on his last legs of his career. Now, what's happened with Rivers and Ryan?
Right.
You just need to retire and not go somewhere for a year because the chemistry gets thrown off, and they still don't know where they're going. It's just like everything else going on.
Yeah,
and they got a lot of good pieces in play, but it's just that quarterback position's been.
No, I mean they need a
journeyman
journeyman or something. It's just like, dude, everything going on in Denver right now, and what I've been reading,
Russell.
You think it's a one and done with
Sierra.
him?
I think I read some of the coach might get fired sooner than later, and he's a rookie coach. I think that's insane. I've been reading. I read a lot of stuff, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff, like I told you about with Russ. This dude was doing knee-ups on the plane ride to Europe.
Does the rookie coach have control of that?
Yeah.
You don't pay someone $235 million, and then you got to let the coach go. It's its fault. Yeah. At the end of the day, this is your investment. So,
well, Russ ain't playing very well.
He's playing terribly. I think he's adjusting to the new life and the new area. And
is he really getting accustomed with his receivers?
I don't think the team likes him.
I don't either.
I hear a lot of isolation and stuff like that.
I think the team hates him. That's what I hear.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I knew when that happened it wasn't going to work. And again, it goes back to, like I said, the media blows these teams up, like with the Raiders. I knew this wasn't going to happen, but here's the thing. You got so many people in Raider Nation. I love a lot of them. I have good friends, but then I hear stories. I was talking to my
Raider
boy.
Nation.
I was talking to my boy last night, and he's a Bears fan. We were talking. I was just bullshit with him, and he works at UPS. He was leaving, and he goes, "Yeah, man, there's some people around here that think the Raiders are just going to win the rest of the games of the year." And I'm like, dude, come on. There's too much of a stretch. And the thing is, the way the NFL structures now is these games are all good and they're going to be close. I mean, yeah, dude, they ran up with the Texans. They did their thing.
Right.
DC hasn't thrown interception, I think, since Arizona.
DC's playing well.
You know, but then
Derek
again, I
Carr's playing well.
had an
I don't even
altercation
want to
this
talk
week.
about Arizona.
Altercation this week, not an altercation. I was going to get food for Howie.
Right.
And if anybody doesn't know who Howie is, it's my dog,
No.
my homie. And I got my Raider lid on. Walked into Petco, and the guy goes, he's all Raider Nation, huh? I go, yeah. He goes, well, you know, they're not. He goes, what do you think? I go, well, dude, there's a lot going on. They got a coaching change, this change. And right away, this dude goes, Derek Carr. I go to him, I go, do you watch the games? Do you know about the offensive line problems and this and that? And I go, the defense. And I'm just trying to break it down because I know he can't comprehend what I'm saying.
Right on.
So I walk away, and he goes, well, hopefully, you know, the fans and the team stay out of prison. Bro, I turned around, and I don't care if you have to bleep this out. I'm
For
going to
the
say what I
life of
said.
you.
And I told him, I go, great stereotype, you jerk off. I'll be back in 5 minutes if you want to have a real conversation.
Seriously,
And guess
face
what?
to face.
And guess what? He wasn't there.
Of course
He goes,
not.
no, because you know, they talk, football fans are cool.
Joe
They can
is
be
funny,
cool.
man.
But see, the thing is, when I talk to a football fan, when they got their lid on or whatever they got on, they got their gear on, I have a cool conversation. And we get into it, then we can really get into football. But dude, these people just come up to me and like, bro, I'm the wrong person to talk to. Like, don't come up to me talking shit.
Right.
First of all, I'm minding my business. Second of all, I can tell you never played in your life anything. So what do you know? You're one of these analytical guys. Oh, let me put in 58 lineups this week for FanDuel. I mean, let me just look at numbers. I mean, it just pisses me off.
Especially if it's Raider Nation.
Well, no,
definitely.
just leave me alone.
And y'all supposed to be a part of the same nation.
Well, look,
He
why-
wasn't. He just wanted. He got schooled and he didn't know what was going to happen. I was schooled a lot of people.
Well,
But I take pride in doing it.
Look, we can't skip over Tom Brady and the debacle this week, right?
Debacle.
no.
You want to use that word? I mean, does that mean it's a catastrophe, brother?
Carolina Panthers?
No, I mean, do you know what? The Carolina was getting 10.5 at home last week.
Do you know they're 11th ranked defense in the NFL?
Yeah, they got
right
a
now?
great D.
But Tom and like, what is going
Dude,
on?
I see. You know what's funny? Tom is 45 years old.
I know.
Tom should have retired 5 years ago.
But I don't.
But
he
here's
won a
the
Super
thing,
Bowl, bro.
Tom, I don't care about that. Tom is going to try to play until he's 50.
For the love of the game, man.
No,
The love of
there's
the
no
game.
love of the game. He's obsessed. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. If Tom doesn't have a line, he can't play.
Right, of course.
Okay.
That's every
obvious.
quarterback.
That's the main thing about him. You see other quarterbacks have been great. They have a great offensive lines. They still balled out.
Tom is pocket presence. He's all about timing, and he's all about rapport with his receivers. And I think this year the issue is that his mind isn't in there, man. And it's you could tell. I mean, it's even with simple drops that you've seen. You know, Mike Evans wide open. That ruined the game for that whole Tampa Bay team. I mean, defense and offense.
Well,
it's
I just think there's stuff going on
Mike
with
should have caught
him.
that, though.
Yeah, he should have.
There's stuff
man.
going
He
on
would
with
put that
him.
in his back pocket and touch his head on the goalpost usually.
And I mean, you know, he doesn't fly with the team to a game to go to Kraft's wedding. I mean, how would that look?
That's
This
what I'm
has been
saying.
called what it is.
I would rather you not fly with us to the game instead of you doing pretty much lunges in between the lane while we're all trying to sleep, like
Right.
Russell Wilson is doing. That is messing up the Broncos right there. There's no
Russell's tripping.
There's no connection between him and
Well,
the team
I don't
at
think
all.
there's a connection with Brady either.
Or look at the connection with the coach and the quarterback in Arizona.
Shit, well, we're not even talking about that.
Look at
Let's
that.
talk about he did cuss him out, but Aaron Rodgers, look at that. Look at the Green Bay Packers
That's
right now.
diva right there.
I mean, Matt LaFleur and him are at war.
That's diva.
And you hear what he said. He said, "Oh yeah, you know, we can make this work." It's like, no, you're not making it work, bro.
Dude, come on. If we go back to Rodgers, do we remember that interview last year when he sat here and he got up and he goes, people don't come to Green Bay for vacation. They come to win championships with me.
right.
Last time I checked, brother, you only got one ring.
Uno.
And you get your ass kicked in the championship game quite a bit.
Always, and he's got some MVPs.
I
but
mean,
that's
you know
it.
what, dude? He's great. I know
He's
how
good.
like a lot of people love him, but again, it goes back to where I don't think these guys that we just mentioned
Right.
are leaders of teams anymore.
Right
Brady's got too much. I mean, it came out. My boss at work came up to me. He goes, "Hey, check this out." And he saw on Twitter that Tom Brady went in the locker room, threw a chair, hit somebody, and said, "I lost my family for this shit.
read
You
that.
guys
Wow.
suck."
Crazy.
He
I
gave
believe
him
it.
his family, and then you
Believe
know
it.
what? He's not going to retire this year.
No way. I mean, you lost
You don't
Giselle.
think so?
you're-
No, I don't think he is.
You think he's going to be the next quarterback of the Colts?
No.
Oh
No, I think he'll stay in Tampa.
What?
Because the Colts need a quarterback desperately.
Cold. What? And the thing about it is that Giselle's going to take him to the cleaners, and she makes more money than him. That's
I really hope that doesn't all happen, but it's all because he's still playing football.
Well, think about it. Would he sign? What was it? $400 million to Fox Sports after he retires?
To be a broadcaster.
To be a broadcaster. $400 million, and that's what she's coming after him, bro. And that's why he's playing
he
like
should
he's playing.
So he's gonna play.
I mean, I don't
until
know the
that
whole
situation's over and
But
done
we're not
with,
going to know
so
the
she don't get
details
none
of
of
that.
money.
We're not going to know the whole details of that situation, but
Just like
You
we
said
know
it
now.
best though, bro. He went in the locker room, threw a chair, hit somebody, and said, "I lost my freaking family for you guys." That's enough said. Damn. And you got
there.
Aaron licking toads and psychedelics laying out on beaches. Like,
What is the NFL coming to?
what are we doing?
oh, it's all going to come down. It was very talked about it. I mean, the script's written for it to be a big blockbuster. I mean, it's already there. I mean, everything's just waiting for it.
I don't even want to say who that this week. Who that got
Are we even talking about them?
No, they got their asses kicked on Thursday. You know.
You guys
It was
really
just
blew
as
that
bad
game.
as
I
New
watched
England.
that game.
We definitely
it was
did.
terrible.
We definitely did. Even with
Worse
the,
than New England.
the
Just as bad as New England.
horrible sideline issue on the other side, we still couldn't capitalize on that.
Yeah, it was a tough one, man. Yeah, definitely. Atlanta took a slide back. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
And if-
TV projectors. What are we doing with that, man?
Okay, Techverse time. Techverse time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Techverse time.
Got you.
Techverse this week, we'll be talking about the new Nebula Capsule 3 printer. It's the size of a Guinness can, which means it can go anywhere.
What does it exactly do?
It pretty much is a 1080p projector. You don't need a backdrop for it. You don't need darkness for it at all neither. Has a 4-hour life battery span time. And it's actually taking over TVs. It's going to possibly make TVs obsolete with all the different apps that's in it. It operates on Android operating system, so you already have built-in apps, as well as you can go ahead and download your Netflix or your Hulu or your YouTube to see the Compodres.
Right.
You know, so I think this thing is taking over storms, but I think that due to the small size of it, it's going to be a problem because it's constantly, I'm seeing droppage of it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that small.
A Guinness can is
Yeah, I know. How many? Have you seen a Guinness beer can? It's a pretty good
it's really
size.
big size.
I thought it'd be smaller.
Yeah, it's
I
like-
mean,
it's like
and
a-
it will be.
It's like a pill, like the Beats by Dre pill size.
Yeah,
It's about that size.
Yeah, but when I saw this in research, I thought it'd be smaller,
yeah.
and I think there will be one that's smaller.
It will be, and the operating systems will change so much.
Yes,
but
exactly.
the beginning of this is amazing. You can play it on any surface, right? It doesn't have to be a white wall anymore. So just imagine having a TV screen at your fingertips wherever you're at. You know, so that's the big thing. And as far as making TV obsolete, I mean, it's tough. I mean, they're upgrading every year.
Yeah,
They've got the
exactly.
curved screens now, and like, I mean, it's kind of tough 4K, but. This is a really cool option.
I think this speaker also says things about it being Bluetooth.
Yeah,
automated.
that's the cool part about it.
So just streaming stuff to it, and it instantly just projects and stuff like that.
And it has speakers built in.
It has a built-in speaker, so you don't need external.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. It's pretty. I think it'll get to the point where it's just like it is now, where you'll just be screen mirroring things. So I think CB has something to say.
Well, you mentioned it, the speakers. I mean, it's with the size of a soda can, that like the sound, just the science of sound, it can't be that loud. So like, I see where you're coming from like this taking over TVs, but I mean, you're still going to be stuck to a sound bar if you want a movie theater in a can.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Complete.
saying?
Absolutely,
Complete.
very true.
Yes.
Audio will definitely, and that will. I think that will be something that's a part of the upgraded system that will happen. But as far as ground level of where they're at now, it's pretty cool, man.
Or if you have like a home theater setup and stuff, and it's Bluetooth automated, you can connect that to the speaker itself.
But imagine going on a date and you're in your whip and you can just, pop up the stuff on the screen and you're talking. It's a cool little thing you can do, man. Have dinner and dinner in the movie in the car.
Play next Friday
like that.
for
Yeah,
her.
right. Stuff like that. Or you're at a party.
I don't look like I want to have
Play
dinner
next
in a
Friday
movie
for
in a
her,
damn
so she can see
car.
some Pinky and stuff.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't even think they heard what I just said. I mean,
You don't want to have dinner in the car?
No, I want no dinner in the movie in a damn car. I'm a big ass dude, man. I ain't gonna sit there.
You've never been
not
to a
anymore, bro.
drive-in movie?
I'm
You've
45
never
damn
bought
years old.
In-N-Out
I'm not
and ate
gonna
it in the
take
car?
lady.
You're
and sit
45.
there.
You've
Let's
been
have
to a drive-in.
Let's watch a movie in the car and have some. No.
Let's hear this.
You're 45. You've been to a drive-in.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's fine.
You
But
can't make the drive-in yourself.
why?
It's
More
fun.
convenient.
There's nothing fun about it. To
All right,
me.
so
I'm a
with
big
women,
ass dude.
they
If
want
you
to be
gave me a fucking,
spontaneous.
if you gave me a
Right.
private van,
Gotcha.
if I had one of those like limo vans or whatever, that'd be fine.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm not trying to like. How am I supposed to relax in that damn thing?
I don't think
I
anybody's
just killed everyone in this room by this statement, and I love it.
All of our women listening, I guarantee you, they will be so happy if their
Okay,
man
you know what?
took them.
You know what? Any women, all the women listening,
not getting into
hey,
this.
DM me, hit me up if you want to go watch a movie and have dinner in the car somewhere. I'm totally down. I would experiment
in a
with
nice
it.
romantic spot that's like scenic. And you know, you set the tone. You set a little scene.
Or what if you ask, like, hey, honey, you want to go to a drive-in movie theater?
Hey,
Like,
and by the way,
And then
if
you
you
just
do
take
hit
her in
me
the
on the DMs
backyard.
and want to do this, I will wear the wig.
Hey.
I'll wear the wig.
Hey, influencer
curls for the
Nebula.
girls.
Oh,
right?
You could be an influencer for Nebula.
Nebula.
There we go. There we go.
Hold on. Hey, check this out. Set the tone. So you got the car, you got the Nebula, everything's set up. You sit outside, got a blanket, you got the food down, picnic, whatever, basket.
Okay,
whatever.
that's different. You sit in the car.
Listen. And then you project the screen on the side of the car. So you're sitting outside on the blanket with your girl. You got the screen on the car.
That's still a little weird.
That's an
It's a little
upgraded-
bit different now.
that's
But you
an
sit
upgraded
in
picnic
the
in the
car.
park right
You
there.
didn't say go to a romantic spot
Well,
and
I
be
just
out.
set the
That's
scene.
different.
I set the scene. I just set the scene.
Yeah, but you said I'm my big ass.
funny.
Gonna sit and
He
watch
also
a movie
said be
with dinner in the
spontaneous.
car.
He said if I
Lost
was
your
a
damn mind.
big ass suburban or
You know, let me get one of them.
Suburban.
Let me get one of them vans with no windows on
Yeah,
it.
there you-
No windows in the back neither. That way she would want to watch the movie.
Nah, yeah, that's just cool, man. That technology is awesome, and it's just convenient. It's fun, and I'm probably gonna purchase it. What was the price point on that, P? Do you remember?
No, I actually didn't get around to the price.
I think it was
point.
like
It's 300.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But I saw there were
279.
some that went up to a little bit higher too. There were like a couple that were 400 or 500.
Well,
I
they
think.
probably have more options.
Yeah, they have some like an option one. I
I
believe.
didn't see that. I just saw 300 on
300.
Amazon.
Yeah, and they don't have one in 4K yet, so I know that's what they're going to be building into.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah,
And I bet you the one in 4K will be smaller.
yeah,
I'm sure.
it'll be more sleek.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, the future of this. Yeah, definitely, man. It's cool.
I'm guessing the noise output on that one, the moving forward, would probably be better too.
Right.
If they're trying to keep it to where a built-in speaker
Well,
has
yeah,
to
well-
be something decent.
Well, that's just for on the go. Just like he said, you plug it into a sound bar or something to make it a surround sound, system for yourself. So
Or like what you were saying as well, if you do the whole car thing, you can
Right.
connect it to your car speakers,
Right,
like you would
right.
do it at a real movie theater or a drive-through.
Gotcha. Word, that's funny, man. That's funny. That was a good one, guys. That was a good one.
I don't know about this Nebula thing, but I'm just gonna say this: I'm gonna get one and see if it does make the situation better. Spontaneous.
As long as you wear that mask.
I'm gonna ask him for the curls because the curls is
No,
for the girls.
and I think you should wear the mask with the mask and the curls.
They gonna think I'm trying to jack them.
Then you're gonna go to jail, bro. You can't wear
If I
that.
have this
You don't
mask,
look like you wouldn't jack
then I'm gonna
anybody in
need
that.
the van with no windows.
Hold up, think
so
about
that's
this.
not what I'm trying to go
Think
for.
about this. When we were about to go in the store before we came in.
I told him don't wear the
He
damn
said
thing.
don't wear the mask. They're gonna think you're gonna rob us.
It was just a prop.
It was. It's funny, man. Oh, man.
It's a proper prop.
What we
too.
doing next? What we doing next, gentlemen?
Okay, gentlemen, we have our.
I'm thinking pet peeves, right?
Is it?
I think it is pet peeves time.
I believe it is time for the pet peeves.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know y'all like this part of it. We let y'all know who we is and who we ain't and what we don't deal with. This week, I want to let you guys know my pet peeve first.
Go ahead.
My pet peeve is people who do not allow you to get over. Like,
Are you talking about driving?
yes, I hit my blinker. I create enough space, make eye contact. They look at me, but then they're speeding up into the situation. And it's just like, dude, like it's like cards. Just let me blend in. You ain't got to make this all extra difficult. Because I almost got in an accident today with
So
somebody.
that's what I was gonna say. I was assuming something happened.
Yeah, I almost got in an accident today with somebody because
What
of
happened
them
there?
just. So I'm on my way to my physical. Had to get a little shot today.
Gotcha.
Flu shot. It's going around.
I never got a flu shot.
No.
No.
Oh, lucky for you.
H1N1 type of deal, or
Yeah, it was H1N1. I wasn't wearing this beanie, so the dude didn't think I was trying to jack him up. But after him not letting me through, no common courtesy, I rolled my windows down, had some words for him. And it's so funny. This is what I love. I love when somebody makes a mistake on the road, they purposely don't want to look at you. They purposely want to look the opposite way, like they don't know what the hell they're doing. When all you're just trying to say is, hey, asshole, let me fit in.
Right. I get that.
But that's just all I have for my pet peeve of the week.
It's a nice one. I
That's
like
a good
that.
one.
Yeah.
That's true, man.
Messed up my
Definitely.
doctor's appointment for sure.
And you don't get and
Your
Preston
blood
doesn't get much
pressure was
time
up
off.
too, wasn't it?
It was already up because I don't get time off, like Lance was saying. So for me, I had to rig this one behind the scenes. And
No,
stuff.
you can change that, P. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
You're SB press. Boy.
You absolutely
You,
right.
you need to just take care of business. Say, you know what? If I need a day off, I'm gonna take the day off. You can do whatever you want, bro. Don't forget that.
For sure.
Man.
Now I'll go into my two pet peeves.
felt
My
that with the
next pet
curls.
peeve, and you know what it is? It's you two. I'm just kidding.
I love that.
I love that. I was waiting. Sound like you want to say bees. I was like, oh, yeah.
I made it G-rated. I wanted to say
Assholes.
something. I'm just kidding.
Ultimate Warrior.
No, there it is. No, I think, you know, when you get to a certain age in life and you've experienced some things, and I'm set in my ways and I look at things and differently, and I've matured and grown as a human being,
Gotcha.
you know. I mean, Rizot's not the same Rizot he was 20 years ago, you know,
Right.
and I've changed and grown as a person. I'm very proud of that. But when people say they're going to do something and they don't come through what they're going to do, at this age, that ends relationships.
It does.
I'm, you know, it's just like, I'll give you a couple chances, and after, you know, when the third one comes around, it's out. You're gone.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't got time. I don't have time for games anymore. You know, I roll the way I do. I am who I am. I'm very loyal. I don't need to discuss and get into detail. I mean, if anybody wanted, we can do a segment on how Rizot feels about his life. But in general, if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Right.
If you don't come through, then what do you got to talk about? You know?
Word is bond. So
Yeah,
if
it is.
things come up, then use your words also.
Yeah, man.
I learned that from Lance, man. Learn that from Lance.
No, man.
And Emrod agrees, right? He looked like he about ready to go sleep. He's on the Michigan time over there.
He's still
He
trying to
just
get
got
back in
in
his
the
time zone.
Yeah, he's trying to calculate.
Walking Dead over there.
Right. Simple this week. I had a situation where, you know, we kind of got out of the point where everybody's, you know, masked up and you know, people are being more, you know, in general without wearing the mask and feeling more comfortable. But if you're going to wear the mask, please put it over your mouth and nose. I see guys wearing it on the bottom of their chin. You know, I went into the grocery store, same thing, and bottom of the chin mask is hanging down here. I'm like, why do you got it on anyway? So my point is this: is if you're gonna put the mask on, you wear it inside out. You see these guys wear it inside out.
I do.
and wear it like right about here, so their nose and mouth is exposed. It's like, why do you even have the mask on? That, you know,
It defeats the purpose.
It does. It really does, man. And so like we're trying to bounce out of all this stuff and where people aren't still wearing masks, but it's just so funny to me when you do wear the mask and you wear it down here. Even when we were in lockdown, when people did that.
Well, I'll tell you what's funny to me
Nobody
now.
was
like-
wearing their mask really properly.
It's like, what do you even have it on for? Like,
I
you're
find it
just
funny
breathing.
when people come in and they'll sit at the bar and they wear a mask and they take it off, have a drink, put it back on.
Yep.
Like,
They don't think about a straw and just slipping it
no,
up.
well, not what mean. Well, yeah. I don't. I just say if
How safe are they though? Really?
exactly. But the other thing is this too. It's like I wouldn't want to go out and do that. Just go one way or the other. It's just it's weird.
I think it's funny when I actually see the girls with the when they pull them down and their makeup is all messed up in the mask and stuff.
Well, I
think that's hilarious.
you know, I think a lot of people liked wearing them whatever that because you can say what you want underneath it, under your breath. They can't hear you. And then girls didn't have to wear makeup or whatever, do what they want. You know,
And people can hide their identities and stuff. And people got used to it. Definitely,
Yeah.
it was like superhero times. You know, put
yeah.
the mask on and not.
You're right.
I forgot my mask.
Some people were even illiterate during the mask season because
Spider-Man.
at my job we on the door had a sign this big that said "Mask, please."
Right.
Mask, please, and people were just like, "What?"
No, then it's
No
that's
one-
a whole nother discussion.
At this point, it's just like if you're gonna wear it, man, come on, man. Like, come on. You've been through it all these years now, and you're still wearing it on the bottom of your chin. What are we doing? You
You're
know,
not even protecting yourself.
pulling it off, taking a drink, putting it back on. I mean, who are you protecting? So,
Exactly.
man, what a Halloween episode,
Yeah, it was,
guys!
man.
Right?
It was fun.
Is anybody going trick or treating but me?
Hey, I know
I think
you
you're the
are.
only one who
No,
can make it,
just
bro.
me.
Joe said CB and Preston are linking up to do it, right?
Hey man,
See,
Well, you know,
said he's
maybe,
gonna buy
hey,
the-
dude, let me ask
I
you
know
a
where
question.
He's gonna buy the
King
chocolate,
is, bro.
CB, have you been? How long have you been out here?
2 years.
Have you been to the West Hollywood's Halloween?
No.
You need to go.
Oh,
It's
you have
crazy.
not done
Because
WeHo
I'm
on
gonna tell you
Halloween?
that.
It's insane.
I think
for you
everyone
now.
in this room has been there. You got to try it once. It's
insane.
crazy. It's insane. how many
It's a
people there.
parade. It's like
And you're going to see
thousands.
everything you can imagine out there. You're gonna have to
Lions,
experience
tigers,
it
and
once.
bears.
I mean, it's crazy on a normal week.
No, during Halloween,
Halloween, it's really-
I
You
was
haven't seen
out here
anything yet.
2 months and went to that. I had no idea what I was going to get into.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
yeah.
It was insane.
It was insane.
Did you
I
go?
had-
Did
it
you
was
guys go
so
out early for
insane.
the parties
No-
and then just stay there the whole night?
No, we just went down to WeHo and walked around.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
I'll
just
never
walked.
forget this.
Yeah.
I was working.
Oh, so you guys went together?
No.
No. I just started working and
we're
I
getting
knew
back
someone
to
from
CB.
Fresno State.
Yeah.
And he got me the job at this restaurant. And we went out there and the dude that we went with, his car was having power steering problems. They're putting in power steering fluid while he's trying to park. I mean, there's a bottle of Jack Daniels going
Where
around.
does
I'm
this
walking
make sense?
around. I'm like in a Caesar outfit, and it's just. Dude, you're gonna see everything you can get. Yeah, you can. I didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
And when you get there, dude, it's insane, and it was
is.
actually fun. There's just so much there.
It
but
is fun.
You have to go early because
Definitely,
a
CB.
couple years ago they said 1 million people were there.
Yeah.
It's insane,
does.
man.
I mean, they fought to have it again this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was Black Zorro when I went. And I had no idea.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
And I was just like, wow, this is insane. You know, outside of
I
what
mean, it
is.
was fun. I think you have to experience.
Yeah,
it. I mean,
CB,
Mark
yeah.
did it.
Yeah, Mark
Right?
knows. So yeah, you should check it out, CB. Definitely, man.
Got you. Appreciate it. Let's go, Rizat. Let's go.
No, I'm not going nowhere, bro. I'm too
Hit him
old
in
for
the
that shit.
DMs if you want to go to West Hollywood.
I'm not. You're gonna hit him in the DMs.
Hold on, what's the nickname for it, Joe?
What?
What do you call West Hollywood?
Oh, it's WeHo.
WeHo.
That's what they call it. It's WeHo. Everybody knows about WeHo out here.
Rizat.
But on the trick or treating part, I know the
Yeah,
inside
maybe you can
candy
hit him
is.
up and he can go. No, CB can go trick or treating with you and WeHo. So go ahead and DM
Oh
him.
no!
That's what you need to do.
Oh man, compadres, y'all saw what this came into. This turned into a horror show for Halloween for sure. And I just want to say thank y'all as always. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, and comment. Slide in the DMs, of course. Duck and dive in the DMs more so.
Right on.
Follow the @Compadres for the Instagram as well as all your other streaming platforms. Go ahead and make sure you hit Ilsun at
I am _IllSun.
and hit Rizat at.
Rizat at the Hizat. Rizat in the Hizat. I almost said that wrong. And have a happy Halloween and wear a nice wig.
Happy Halloween, definitely, guys.
Yes, and like that, compadres, we're gone.
We gone.